I wanted to share with you a couple of other techniques for moving clips and removing unwanted material when you are performing edits. Right now, I just have this edit that we were kind of working on. I have a combination of about 6 clips of whale sharks, and I'm just going to scrub through my timeline so you can kind of see the order in which we are placing the clips. And what we're going to do is we want to actually move one of these clips. So I want to take this clip right here and I want to position this to a different location in my timeline. So I want to swap its position. Now, if we were to select this clip and simply move it, so let's just say that we wanted this clip to appear after these 2 clips. So we want to insert it right in here. If we try to drag it to this location, you'll see that as soon as I get around the area that I want and I let go, it overwrites these clips, and obviously it leaves a big gap. So that is not what I want to accomplish. So I'm just going to undo that by using Command or Control Z. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this clip and we're going to move it to a new location. If we want to move this without performing an overwrite, we're going to hold down our Command or Control key and we're going to drag. And when we do this, we want to make sure that snapping is turned on. This doesn't really work unless we have snapping on. I'm just going to simply drag to the location, and you can see I have these white arrows. So I'm going to position the white arrows at the new spot where I want this clip to be, and then I'll let go of my mouse first and then the clip. And now you can see I've swapped the position. We still have the same number of clips, but we've just rearranged the order of the clips and moved them around. So that's a really great edit that you can do. It's called a shot swap, and it allows you to simply move a clip to a new location without leaving any gaps and without doing any sort of overwrites. In some situations, you might decide once you've made your edit that you don't want a clip. Let's pretend that I wanted to eliminate this clip right here. Currently, if I select this clip and hit delete, it's going to leave a big gap. So I would need to select all of these clips and then move them to the new location, which in this example is not that big a deal because my edit is not very long and it's not very involved. But imagine if I had 30 different video clips in here and maybe a bunch of audio and video tracks. So far we've only been working with 1 video and 1 audio track, but in most projects you'll have a layering of different sorts of tracks, which we will eventually get to. So in order to select everything to the right, we can use this tool right here. This is the Track Select Forward tool. And when you click with this tool, you click on one clip and it's going to select everything to the right. So it doesn't matter how much stuff I have in my timeline, it will simply select everything. And then I could just click, hold, and drag these clips back and in essence get rid of that gap. Whenever you use any of these tools in your tool palette, it's a really good idea to always return back to the selection tool, because if you leave some of these tools selected, you might inadvertently perform some sort of edit that you didn't want to do. What we need to do is we need to return to the selection tool. The keyboard shortcut is V, which is a good one for you to commit to memory since it is something that you will do often. So I'm going to click V to go back to my selection tool, and now I can continue to perform my edits and do whatever it is that I need to do. The other thing that I wanted to tell you, and I'm just going to undo again to get back here, is if you did have a clip or a series of clips that you wanted to delete, you could eliminate that gap, which is also referred to as a lift, by using your Option Delete or Alt Backspace on the PC. And that will allow you to delete that clip and it closes the gap automatically. So that is an even easier solution since you just have to do one keyboard shortcut. So once again, that is to select the clip. I'm going to do undo real quick. Select the clip and you'll hold down on the Mac Option Delete, and on the PC it would be Alt Backspace. And that would just tighten up that clip right there. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is one of the tools that we have is the Razer blade tool. And this allows us to actually cut our clips. So in this clip right here, I'm just going to play my timeline so you can kind of see this one clip right here. You can see that the whale shark comes into frame. It's going to get really close to us and its mouth is going to be right there. And it almost looks like we're going in the mouth of the whale shark. And then eventually the whale shark is going to kind of drop down. So then we'll be on top of the whale shark. So I would like to actually trim this clip into 2 separate clips. We've already brought this into the timeline. We could have made 2 sub clips out of it, but maybe just based on my edit, I decide that this is a spot where I want to trim this. So with my playback head here, I'm going to use my Razer blade tool, and the keyboard shortcut for this is C. And if you click with the Razer blade tool, it's going to slice the clip. So you can see I've actually cut this clip into 2 pieces. And if we go back to our selection tool, I could grab this new clip that we essentially have made. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hold down my Command or Control key and just drag this to the back. That's going to allow me to rearrange this. So now here is the first part of this clip right here. And then it'll move on to these other clips that we have of the whale shark. And then at the very end, it's going to show the second part of that particular clip. So in essence, we've taken 1 clip and turned it into 2. So that is one way that you can slice something, and you might want to do this for a number of reasons. You might be working on your edit and decide you want to remove a small section or something like that. I'm going to do undo a few times just to get back. And I do want to show you another way that we can perform a similar type of edit, and this is using keyboard shortcuts. So this next method is more beneficial if you perhaps want to, instead of moving a part of the clip to a new location, if you wanted to delete part of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set an in point, and this is on the timeline, and then I'll use my down arrow key to get to the end of this edit, and I'm going to set an out point. So I've set in and out points on the timeline, which also is going to reflect the in and out points in the program window. And then what we want to do is we're going to use the extract key. And this right here is the extract key. So if I click the extract key, or the keyboard shortcut for this is the apostrophe on your keyboard. But if I click this, you can see how that section of the clip has now disappeared and been deleted all in one step. The Razer blade was helpful if I wanted to take part of this clip and move it to a new location. But if my intention is to simply eliminate a portion of that clip, then defining the in and out points and using that extract or the apostrophe is a great way to be able to get rid of those things. And the final edit that I want to show you is, let's look at this last clip right here, and let's just say that I want to end the clip right here where the tail kind of swings into place. I could resolve this a number of ways. I could use my Razer blade and simply cut this off, or you can just position your mouse at the end of the clip and just trim. And you can see that I can just trim that portion of the clip off. So now my clip is just going to end at this new ending frame. It's real easy just to eliminate that. If, however, you want to use your keyboard shortcut to eliminate this, you can go ahead and you can hold down either your Option or your Control key. And if you select the ending portion of a clip, so in this case, it's my last clip, and if I hold down my Option or Control on the PC and use my left or right arrows, you can go ahead and you can trim 1 frame at a time. So let's zoom in a little, and if you keep your eye right here, our total duration of the clip is currently 1 minute and 19 seconds and 42 frames. So if I hold down the Option key and hit this left arrow key, you can see that that number is going down. It's eliminating 1 frame at a time. It's hard to see because it's such a little duration, but it is eliminating that. And if we add the Shift key, so if I hold down the Option or Control key and add Shift and hit my left or right arrow, it's going to go 5 frames at a time. If you want to really get detailed about your trimming, this could be a good way that you can get in there and trim off the end of a clip. Hopefully this gave you some ideas of how you can swap clips, delete things, get rid of gaps, perform a lift. We actually covered quite a bit of editing in this example.